Wouldn't surprise me. The attendance for streams is usually low single digits. Like 3, if that. It's kind of an awkward time, too, on top of that. Alright, we're going to do player death detection and see how far it gets. You lie, Blue, you're not here. What are you doing pinging me? Get the system ready. It's always been a little off, not super resilient. I assume it's because of ticking areas partially loading, and then you're relying on command blocks, and if you have too many command blocks queued in a tick, things screw up, and it's always just been a little unreliable. And if I convert everything over to functions, I'm thinking it should be able to get rid of all of those bugs. Now, I can't really do it correctly because the functions aren't set up properly until 1.10. But I can do something until then. Let's see, is dying. That's a good tag. Not just recursion, but it's the same effect, right? It's not being able to transfer the executing entity on subsequent function files, so you can't use add-s, which means really all functions are right now are the same thing as command block, except you don't have conditionals. So they're, in some sense, slightly more annoying to deal with, but you get away from all the mess of repeat command blocks taking 3 ticks to update, and but it means it's just going to be, the result is going to be a lot laggier than it should be, because I can't use add-s for anything. What do you mean, what is my mechanism? My mechanism is put it all in functions, except for like a handful of things that are not easy to do in functions. Let me just pull this stuff out. I'm going to need this in a bit. $3:54.3. That's a weird title time. I'm looking for something that references a horse or a rabbit. Here we go. Add a rabbit. No, that's not it. I might have already skipped past it. There's something for those traps. I think they're horses. Well, here's the saved from death stuff. Just pull most of this out, and then I'll tweak it as needed. Do you have a strategy for functions triggering each other? No, it's like early days of Java, where this is not cleaned up at all yet, but it's just a main file. There's no way you can see that. There. It's just a main function file that just calls, you know, I have one core entity and I check the tags off of that to tell it what other core functions to call, and then every function just chains out, spiders out into everything else. I don't have anything better than that. Here are good things. Yeah, main is just, you have one clocking command block in the world that just calls main. And then I have a couple things like for clearing items, because we don't have conditionals or any way to do stats or anything. So I have clear commands in-game that are just on repeats, and those get turned, I think I turn those on and off as the game runs. It must have been down here. Stained glass. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's an all dead check versus a player dead check. I don't know where I put this. Oh, maybe it's this. That looks right. R equals 0, it's not going to like that anymore. Well, we'll just make it up. That's most of the stuff I needed. Hey, Hungy. We'll see how close I need to get for R equals 1 to yell at me. Been working with command blocks since they were introduced, since they first came out on Java. The motivation to continue working is to publish maps for the Minecraft Marketplace, which I can sell for money. And it's fun. Not just the money, but I wouldn't be doing it if there weren't money, very likely. And I challenge anybody who's publishing Marketplace content, if they say, I'm only doing it for the people, the community, the love of, you know, whatever. I challenge that. Can you take... I think these are just integers. Oh no, they're not integers. That's interesting. Okay. That's... Let's shrink you down a little more. We'll be a little bit more forgiving then. It should really be that you're in the block. Why do I feel like that's not actually shrinking? No, it is. Alright. Maybe it rounds it to the nearest half. Alright, can I jump over it if it's at 0.6? Yes. That works. Let's go with that. Alright, how do I kill you? If your is running, if your is dying, if you have an extra life. Which has extra life. Then we're going to tag at let's just process this guy. So this is, we're going to print out the death text, or the save from death text. So title is running, subtitle text dot save from death, which we put in here. Thoughts on scripting? I have not paid enough attention to it aside from seeing those interesting titles that folks were doing. Ah, this is a problem. Can I wonder if that'll parse. I don't know if that'll parse. Let's... I'd be surprised if it did. What do you think? Text in a lang file, if you give it a player reference, will it be able to parse that? Nope. Okay. Well, hang on. That's feedback to give. let me take care of that right now. Because you can't do... How would this... You can't combine tell raw with what am I running? 1.9 second to latest RC, not the one that just got pushed yesterday or today or whenever that happened. Yeah, you can't combine title and tell raw, which means you can't get JSON into a title. Which means you can't get translate into a title. Get a title raw? Oh, there is a title raw! I thought that was a joke! I didn't know that was a command. Okay. Right. Yeah, I got translate in there somewhere. Oh, well I can go back and strip my UI file then. I got other stuff to change then. I didn't realize that these could be... I didn't know that this was a command. Oh, there's documentation for this. There's documentation for this. I assume it's the same structure. Yeah. This guy. Do you do title raw then? Probably title raw to print it, right? Hi, Zoe. Oh god, title raw. At S. Action bar, subtitle time. Okay. And yeah, okay. Can I just give it a basic text element? Nope. It requires an array. I'll just do this. At P still doesn't parse. But you can combine elements then, right? That's why it's an array. So I can give it an at P element and then a text translate after that. Just title to print? That would surprise me. Use the with argument. Okay. And then use these little placeholder guys in there. The game has never been perfectly stable. So it's not breaking now any more than it ever was. And it's stable enough to have been released. So it's not broken, it's just not perfect. Okay, I was not expecting to actually have to learn things on the stream. I was just expecting to do things. So save from text. Is gonna grab. How does the structure of this work? I call that with %. What is S? S is just next. S is the first. And why is there a double %? I'm assuming that's just the syntax. So it would be this was save from death, and then I would call text save from death with raw text. I need to do this in something that I can actually see what I'm doing. Raw text translate with at P tag equals is running, tag equals is dying, tag equals has extra life. Double is for use. S is string, % is variable, double is for use outside of lang files. Okay, that applies for 1 and 2 as well if you're filling with those, I assume. Anything inside of a lang file that's called with would just use a single variable reference. I'm copying this then, make that a single. That's gonna need... Do you know if lang files require a game restart or just a world restart? Probably a game restart. Oh, I love the soundtrack. Hey, syntax error. What'd I do? What'd I do wrong? Does it want quotes around this sucker? Probably. Whoa, okay, it didn't like that. Are you sure you can use AP on this? AP was saved from death. I assume it needs to be... It's gotta be in quotes, right? I mean, it's JSON. Everything's in quotes in JSON. But can you can explicitly write out a player's name. Can you use this with to get a player reference? Like this, when I run it as @p, isn't giving me @p. Right, I just get @p saved from death rather than Mr. Squishy saved from death. You can't come in here and not expect to do work, Blue. You've been here enough times to know how it goes. I don't think it's supported. There is no information on Google about Bedrock. None. There are so few people that are doing this stuff that you're just not going to find anything. You'll find Java stuff, but Java stuff isn't applicable here. We need Bedrock specific. And it really wouldn't surprise me if this couldn't take player references yet. Didn't this come up in the pathway chat? Weren't we talking about this when Gerald first let us know about the tell raw changes? We were, but there was nothing specific. Does it allow... This is not in the lang file. This is just me putting this in a text document so I can work with it. It's this that I'm... Well, yeah, it's this that it's failing to replace. Is that 1% S there? Well, I looked back, Blue, it wasn't in there. Nobody was saying anything. There's no way it's gonna... I tried that, it doesn't like that without quotes. Yeah, it wants quotes. I don't think it's allowed yet. Alright, well then for the moment I will just do it in the function file. Do that. You can't get away from any of us. The extra is not a supported tag. Color is not a supported tag. Text is not a supported tag. Text might be a supported tag. Extra is not. Color is not. That's a Java version command you just posted there. Text isn't supported. Of course it isn't. I was trying to give benefit of the doubt. I was trying not to be too harsh on it. Uh, 363. Check if the player has the extra totem. If they, if they do, then we're going to clear it. Clear all players of the totem. And we're going to clear all players of the flag. And it's shared, so we don't care who died. It gets pulled off from everybody. Alright, that's you getting saved. Now what happens if you didn't get saved? Nope, I'm not quite there yet. I need to remove... and then I need to point to another function file to say you've been saved. Which means I should probably put all this in another function file. Okay. I need to say tag at A, remove is dying. Because you're no longer dying. Remove your extra life, and then somewhere in here, before I remove the is dying tag, which means I might move some of those, function pointer to move player to next tile. And that's going to work by saying execute type armor stand, tag check player position. We're going to check the current tile entrance direction, which is +1. We're going to look wool 0. We're going to check +2, check entrance height, wool 0. If both of those are true, we're going to teleport any player that is being saved, which is a tag is dying and a tag has extra life. We're going to offset them from the entity, which is sitting there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's actually move. If I move 8.0. Nope. Just move, if I move 7.5, that'll center me on it. Yep. So you get to go 7.5x, you get to go plus 6y, and you get to go relative z. And if we look at you, where are you currently sitting? You are at 16.0, so that should work. Now we do this for every position. If it's wool 1, and I got this backwards, so I'll fix that. This is if the entrance, I just did if the entrance was 2. So those two are good, these two are not. If the entrance is 0, oh, and I gotta rotate you. I gotta do that. If the entrance is 0, we gotta push you plus 15z. We're gonna do the same 7.5, 16, 15, 0, 0. And if you're on high tiles, you go up another 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? You were here. Yeah. So you get to go up to 10, lucky you. If your entrance was side 1, that's over here. We just flip these around. Keep your X, push your Z, spin ya. These guys are entrance tiles, so these are actually 180. Nope, those are zeros. These are 180s. Yep. Which means that these guys are going to be 270s. And these guys are going to be 90s. And you get to do this. Plus 7.5z, you get to do the same thing. Plus 7.5z, and entrance 3, which means you move 15. Okay, so that has now moved the player to a safe position. Then we'd go ahead and clear their is die. So all this I'm just going to put into its own function file. Which I'll just call power up to activate, which is an awful name. Power up to activate. All right. If so, tag equals is dying is removed. From there, we can say if tag is dying still exists, player has died, process accordingly, which is going to be split into its own function file. And that's going, well, that's because there's probably one person watching the stream. That's going to run as follows. We are going to throw all of these same things on them. Anybody who's is running, anybody who is dying. I see no reason to change 3 seconds of 255 slowness. You get a title. Say text.title dot player died. Stick that on ENUS. You get that. Death detection. Go ahead and clear you, even though I'm not convinced that's necessary. And this guy is doing a whole lot of nothing that I care about. That's those done. Save from death. That I don't care about. That's more death stuff. I already did those. I already did that. We are going to stop sound. For anybody who just died. We will play this guy. And we'll give you levitation, which I'm going to do up here to group all of my effects together. Okay, from there, this all gets to be its own thing. Give effects, print title to player, clear player inventory, stop music, and play death sound. And there's probably a timer that I'll have to set up at some point. If at this point, I'm going to leave it as an add A. In case I ever go back and update this when they fix add S. We're going to call the player died function. Player died is also going to need to check if any players are still alive. I am going to use a temp bit for this. At 005. If any player is still running and is not dying, and if .005 is still wool 1, then all players have died. If it's wool 0, then I'm just gonna teleport. Yeah, if it's wool 0, then the player that died didn't matter, because they weren't the longest surviving player, and this game is ruthless in that way. that your contribution was meaningless if you die first. Not technically true, you could have picked up power-ups, but not that far off. And you're just going to get to go back here. 100,000, 10, 6. Actually, that's not where I put you. I put you here. 100,000, 12. Not if they're the best. If they're not the best, I don't care. 100,000, 30 die. I only care if they're the best. This is all the coding I know how to do. Started by picking apart other people's contraptions and read the wiki and made my own stuff, and gradually it got bigger and bigger and bigger. If all players are dead, then I need to start the cleanup sequence. So that's going to be check off your closest player, check 005 for rollable 1 bit, everyone's dead. We're going to call the cleanup tiles function. Inside of, that's a top level function still. Cleanup tiles and knit, which I'm actually gonna do after. And here's what I actually wanted to get to tonight. This is probably the most convoluted piece of this whole game. Is death position, is death scoring. This thing is a nightmare. Alright. If all players are dead, so this is going to be get position in tile of last surviving player. Okay. This is a beast because I don't know what better way there is to do it because things turn. Basically, if it's a straightaway, it's really easy. This is saying you basically get a point per block traveled. So if I die halfway through a 16 block tile, I should get 8 points. Really easy if the tile's straight. If the tile's curved, then you have to figure out which pieces of this you give them credit for. Right? So, like, clearly, if you're here, you get 1 point. And if you're here, you get 15 points. But what happens if I'm here versus here? Right? Or if I'm over here? So, the way I did it originally is I just turned it in, I threw my hands up and I turned it into a bunch of box selectors. And I said, basically it increases linearly through here and linearly through here, and then this, I just said, give them an average, if they're anywhere within the turn. And I might just do that again. That seems somewhat reasonable, I guess. But then oh god, how did I do this? Because then you had issues like this, right? If you're over here. Right, if I'm halfway between entrance and exit on a diagonal. I think I just picked. Now the other thought I had on doing this was just to slap an entity down over here and try and use a radius check on it to see how close the player is. It's not going to be very precise, because the player might have died on a spike up here, they might have fallen into a pit down here, and there's no way to know. Let me do this. Hopefully without breaking anything. Alright, let's come up with a scoring regime. There's your entrance. Here's your exit. Here is your intended path, which is not necessarily stuck to. I think scoring should always be based off of your proximity to the exit. So if you went the wrong way, if there was a barrier right here, and there was no possible way you could have gotten there, but you make a leap of faith and you end up here, I think you should get points. I think you should get 14 points for that. I think it's all off of proximity to the exit. And I'm pretty sure that when I did this, all I did oh, and just take the yeah, I could do that. Scale it. Oh, yeah, that's probably not a bad idea, because then I'll know exit location and I don't care where entrance was. Do I care where entrance was? I don't care where entrance was. But if I do it that way, then you don't get linear scaling, right? If I do it that way, if I die here, this isn't 1 point. This might be 8 points. Not sure what you mean by going 080. I don't know why it wouldn't go 0 to 16 or 0 to 15. Unless you're trying to solve this problem, but what are you doing? Initial direction. Oh. Oh. So you're trying to account for this by giving them. Does that work? Hang on, what are you doing? You're scoring the entrance axis assigning 8. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're doing. But then you gotta... These 4 are not scored equally. Right? Even though they're... I mean, here's the reality of this. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna... I could just skip partial scoring altogether. Nobody would know. But that always felt like a cop-out. But okay, I see what you're just ranking them. Now, you wouldn't want to subtract score. Like, this in your schema would be a fail. Right, this would give them a negative score. Because they'd be on a... How about I just do the entity? It's cheap, but maybe it'll be roughly right. You're saying floor it at 1. Yeah, I just don't like the... these should all be the same score. Which they won't be the same score in mine. I don't know why I agonize about it. There's literally no point to this. Nobody's gonna know. It doesn't matter. Alright, maybe I'll just do your 2-axis scoring thing then. No one's gonna know. There's no way they would know. All these files are encrypted now anyways. Get position tile of last surviving player. The only player who's still alive, or who is... What happens if you have 2 players dying same tick? Player 1 has already been processed. I need to teleport all but... I need to teleport all but 1 player out, or I need to flag a single player to work off of. Which means I should flag a single player to work off of. I'm okay with them being encrypted. It's fine by me. So we'll do this. Tag equals check player position. Tag at P is running add death scoring. Teleport any player who is running but is not check player position. They get returned to lobby. And their tag gets removed. Anybody who's running who is not check player position removes is dying and removes is running. I need to remove is running here. Which means I might as well do these as a box selector because I'm not going to have enough data to do it any other way. Is that true? No, that's not true. I know that this is only called if there's a tag as dying player, which means I would have done the check, which means if there's still an alive player, I remove these in the opposite order. Any player that is still is dying gets his dying removed. That should work. Hey, Benny. Okay. Now I have a single player isolated. I got a single tag to work with off of him. I am inclined... Let's just... let's just wipe these tags. Because I already have the death scoring tag applied, that's the only tag that I care about. Now I need to summon an entity at the check player position, and I need to look backwards until I find the player in a box selector off of the new entity. And I'll just do this all in one. There's only going to be one player here to look for. And I'm going to repeat this. So we'll just do that. DSR is the name of the map. Don't stop running. Alright, now... Move death scoring entity to last surviving two. I need to move you back. I'm going to overwrite a bit that I would normally use here and repurpose it. I would check +1 wool 1. Wait, am I never setting that? Am I really? Really? Did I... Hang on. Oh no, I'm doing it through tags. Not through temp bits. Okay. Then I don't have to worry about this. Yeah, I don't have to worry about this. I can just call it. Yeah. So I'm going to move him backward until the player is found. Player still not found, move backwards. Normally you would do this recursively. I'm just going to be lazy and do it up to 4 times. Now I've located the player. Problem. I need to read when a new tile is before I move. Oh god. I need to read data that may have been deleted. I need to make a backup. Does that work? That doesn't work. I can read the exit location. For the tile. I can't necessarily read the entrance location for the player's tile because it may have been partially deleted. Ah, this is a bug in my original system. I always assumed that the player did not turn backwards. If the player did turn backwards, then this wouldn't have worked. That's interesting. See ya. Yeah. Okay. So then I can't. I can't know. Which means I can't do 2A, which means the only way I can do this is by summoning an entity at the output of the final tile. And it means before I push back, I need to save the previous tile data. Do I care about height? I'm just going to scan it one direction. If you get 8 points, you get 8 points. Good as I can do. I don't care about that, I don't care about that. Good as I can do. And if you're outside the bounds, then you're outside the bounds. Good job. I got no other way to do this. I'm gonna read off of the death scoring entity. I'm gonna check +2, check +3 for the exit direction. Yep, and then I'll just scan. Alright, this will work. +3 will 0. Scoreboard, player set at S. Previous exit 0. Repeat X4. Save that as its own thing. Okay. Now I know the exit direction, now I can the entity. If previous exit is 0, we're going to go from 1 to 15. We're going to put you on 0, 0. Because your exit is north. If your exit is east, you're going to go plus 15x, rotate 90. If your exit is south, you're going to go plus 15z, rotate 180. If your exit is west, you're going to go 270, hold. Is that true? Can I do it like that? Maybe I can't. Because I need to do this as a slice. No, I can't do it like that. Unless I just decode the player's XZ inside, and then I grab. Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna save previous exit. Give an X and a Z position. We're going to check each of these. By off of death scoring. Why don't I just do this off the player? Can I do that? I want to say if in 8, add 8, TP not within 8, add 8. So maybe I'm looking for 9. If dx is 9, teleport 8. It's gotta be 8. dx is 8, TP 8, plus 8. Or do I do... Why am I having trouble with this? This is not a hard thing that I'm trying to do right now. I've done this like 100 times before. All I'm trying to do is do a binary search for where the destination entity is. It's because I'd normally do it the other way. That's why I'm having trouble with it. This is going the wrong way. So if the player is at least 8 away. There we go. That's what I'm missing. That's what I'm missing. If he's tilde 8, go off of that. So... Oh, that sounds like fun. When does that happen, Miro? Better get working on those models so that you have something to talk about. I'll push death scoring -8. And then do a DX check of +7. Does that work? Something is seriously wrong with me. I have no business having trouble with this. Target, player's there. Starter's there. These both need to be negative. Okay, I do need to do it. I need to start at the armor stand. Otherwise, I can't verify that you're within the tile bounds. Do that. This is so bad. I'm sure there's a better way of doing this, but we'll just do this for right now. Eight, 4, 2. Yeah, it's just, it hurts my pride to make something that's this hideous. Okay. Player parsed. Score received. convert score. If his previous exit is north, then his score is equal to his Z position. If his exit is east, it's equal to 16 minus his X position. If it's 2, it's 16 minus his Z position. If it's 3, it's plus his Z position. Straight out. Score assigned. Remove the entity. Return is running tag for easier reference. Done. Player died. This gets returned after death scoring. We call cleanup tiles init. I have no need to do this. Unless the blindness is going to lag a tick, which I won't know. Won't know until I try it. So do that. All players have been cleared from the field. We're now going to run cleanup tiles init. When that has been done, we're going to run print scores. I'm gonna read high score. And then I'm gonna print scores to blocks. Print run score to blocks. Read high score so I don't have to have any persistent entities. See if I can make heads or tails of this. That's going to be this. Why is blue 1? Magenta, light blue, yellow, lime, pink, gray, silver. Where's 9? Cyan. So it just rolls over. It starts with DV2 as magenta. Because orange was used for something else in the original map. Okay. Last run is on bottom. Welcome back. Okay, then I'm going to read digit. Look for concrete 2. High score times 2. I can't do that. I gotta set it. We'll set its temp. Multiply those two together. That now saves high score onto my entity. Which is this guy. So that reads high score. Now I need to print scores to blocks. So I'm gonna compare last run score against high score. And we're going to I refuse. We're gonna say just use its temp. We're going to set that equal to its run score. Temp minus high score. And check if temp is greater than 0. If so, we have a new high score. See if I can find where that would have been in here. You know, it would have been a subtractor in here somewhere. This is all adder. Oh, maybe I was doing signed adding. I think I might have been at this point. $15.80. Show scores. Maybe I didn't print anything if it was a new high score. I thought I did. I guess it's easy enough to check. I got to beat 226. I don't think I did. I don't think I was announcing it. Nope. Okay. So I will just create this. This is actually going to be pretty much identical to in here somewhere. To this. Z, yeah, okay. And I'm not using that. This will be fine. Alright, so that's got it parsed down to individual digits now. I'm just, at this point, going to set physical blocks with score textures. Don't need to do that. Don't need to do that. I'll clean them up. I'll compare against the high score and clone if it is a new high score. Clone the current score, which should be 8. Three. Right. Yeah. To 9. Done. This is print high score to blocks. Print run score to blocks. Alright, so I've run death scoring, I've read the high score, I printed the run score, and I've run tile cleanup. I wait until that's done. When cleanup tiles init, so that's it. That's it for this file. When cleanup tiles init has finished, what is this going to do? It's going to add delete tile. Just going to run delete tile main, which is going to check when the deletion count hits 16. It's going to kill going to kill everything. When that hits 16, everything's done. I need a 10-bit. .006. If wool 1 still, then we're going to call setup. To start the next game. Okay. So I don't have the... There's some sequences I'm still missing. Let's test. There's no way any of that is going to work. That was way too much work done with no testing. Oh yeah. That broke just about everything. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, how did I break it that badly? Caught something in an infinite loop. Something with when it's completed generating. Maybe it doesn't get like starting room or something like that. Yeah, that's causing... Clean up tiles is causing issues. Let's remove... Well, that's always good when it makes copies of itself. That's how you know it really broke. Oh. Huh. Okay, yeah, that's gonna cause problems. No wonder. I put this on delete main. It's running this every time. Instead of just removing the delete tile. Which is what it's supposed to do. I need to put this on a separate function and just say which means I just tag it in clean up tiles not in a net, I tag it in here. Clean up tiles in net. Now when I get to here, If both of those are true, then I'm gonna do my check here. Any armor stand ever exists. Let's do that. I really need to finish. I need to go to bed. That's not a great look. I just want to get this into a point where I can remember how to debug the rest of it. Let's see if that keeps it from freaking out. Well, yes and no. It's not freaking out, it's also not doing what it's supposed to. Of course, I don't know which of these worlds is active right now. Let's see if we can get it to reload. It's duplicating itself. Should be the 780, just from the timestamp. Okay. So you are not running on player death. Player died. When we call cleanup tiles init. And then eventually that gets over to delete tile main. And it attempts to do this. That's because it's not running off of player died. That's why. I need to tag it as player died if I want to simulate a full restart. that still doesn't look right. That's because it is killing everything. And you're not removing him. That's okay. So if I did this now, I give it a setup, I tag it, I tell it game is over. Cool. How's that for a pretty speedy reset? Now the question is, does the rest of this work? Well, the easy tiles work. I hadn't tested that before. Feels like it isn't generating as many tiles in front of me as it should. Maybe that's just my imagination. Check it on this corner. Is that 1, 2, that's 3 ahead? No, I think that's right. Well, sure. Is this gonna save me? Nope. So my death mechanics... It's already finished. This is me just updating things to the latest version. It's on the Minecraft Marketplace on Bedrock Edition. It is available for purchase. I think it's $4, something like that. There's a trailer up with the textured version of it. This is me just trying to make things a little bit cleaner on the back end. Okay, why is death mechanic not working? Let's remove has extra life. Actually, let me kill myself on spikes. That doesn't work either. Okay. We'll simulate game over. Let's... Oh! Hey, guess who forgot to turn the new functions on? Yeah, you know, all those things I wrote to actually have the game check if the player died? Gotta tell it to actually run them. Okay. Now they're at least running. Now I can properly find out if I broke this or not. That was interesting. That's probably not good. Oh, it might be because I never taken area loaded up here. That's probably what was going on. Okay. Okay. I gotta kill the player to get the death effect to run, but that properly saved me, properly teleported me to the right checkpoint. Oops. I'm in creative, so ignore that. I'd rather get down low in case it doesn't work. Just wait for it to give me a set of stairs to walk down. There we go. Okay, glass is not working. Let me just give myself a little extra time here. Unexpected syntax error. How about now? Okay. Right, I forgot to turn levitation off. I'm also not convinced you need levitation. I don't think you do. I'm fairly certain you don't. And I do need to add another death condition, which is if you run off the back end of this. intentionally kill yourself by running backwards and jumping off the back. That should now eliminate you. Levitation is gone. Did this. Oh, that's really cool. It's always so fun when things work. Oops. Well. I spoke too soon. Why is that not running? There's a whole bunch of tags that didn't get set. Whoa. No, okay. Let's try that again. He's not starting. Why? Where's Muncher? Armor stand, not generating, not a setup, not starting room. Function Muncher main. What did I do? It's like it's not looping. Ooh. Alright, not sure why that got blacked out. Unless I stopped it at some point. I don't know why I would have done that. That's why you weren't going, though. That does not account for why the rest of this isn't doing anything. So why are my power-ups not collecting? is busted with power-up processing. I mean, it's... Oh, you know what? I'm not is running anymore. Because is running is going to be set when the player pushes the button, and I haven't set up pushing the button yet. That's why. And those are sound effect issues with the teleporting. Score is not getting assigned. So to properly simulate this, I want to set that to 0. I want to tag myself as is running, and I want to tag remove starting room. Yep, okay. And then if I were to die, oops, that's okay, save from death. That time died. Okay, that works. On the activate of power up 2, I need to deal enough instant damage to the player to kill them. I remember this being somewhat finicky. Let me look at how I did it before. So it was like if I just gave him 255 instant damage, it overrode the healing ability of the totem. So there was some maximum amount of damage I could deal. Nope, I guess I did just apply 155 true. Okay. But I cleared the totem. I cleared the totem the next tick from all other players. Okay, that's the trick. Otherwise, the totem doesn't have time to take effect. So in this case, I'm going to tweak that by applying instant damage by killing anybody who just called the totem, and then clearing anybody who does not have it. So tag myself is running, tag at E, take out starting room. Must have set that to wool 15 before just for diagnosing, because that came back just fine. Give myself an extra life. And then use it. That's interesting. That sent me the wrong way. So I got a bad reader somewhere on the direction. I need to... Okay, let me look at my... One of these is backwards. If the... Oh, it's actually not going that badly. A couple hiccups here and there, but nothing too rough. If my direction, the entrance direction for the tile is on the north side, I teleport you to the north side. If it's on the east side, I keep you east. If it's on the south side, well, I don't obviously see what's wrong with that. It's like it was teleporting me to the wrong entity or something. Let's go back. Alright, so I've just turned east. Death on east works, but I'm in creative mode and therefore my thing did not get applied. So I'll give that to myself again and I'll go into adventure mode. I think I'm running north right now. There we go, that's how it's supposed to work. Alright, so that just flipped me the wrong way. Maybe that's the... Maybe it's just that my... Yep, these are flipped. These are flipped. The left and rights are okay. But those two were backwards. Oh, this is giving me... right. That's gonna give me effects when I die. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Tag. Turn full damage off. That looks better. That's more how you're supposed to work. These sign textures are just holdover. These are texture packs. Resource packs aren't getting reset properly when you cycle between different worlds. Okay, my run score isn't getting parsed and displayed. Let's see if I can figure that out. I just need to give I don't need to give them anything. I need to... Why are they not being killed? Whoops. Might be part of the problem. Scoreboard, function, utilities, init vars. Gotta reinitialize my variables. Honestly, would have thought that would have broken more stuff. Game mode 2, tag is running. Remove starting room. Okay, still nothing. Let's do your run score equal to 160. And then let's try to print your run score to blocks. Print run score to blocks. That's interesting. These guys are summoning in at 9. They're the print location of the last run score, which should be 8. Yeah, I got rid of all the binary stuff is gone. That looks better. 160. Now, why did you fail in setting a high score? Because no objective was found. Really? That can't be right. How could that be? I called it, I used utilities temp before. There we go. Well, that's a problem. That's not supposed to be able to happen. Wonder if that's the ticking area. You know what, that's probably what it is that I need to add, and I meant to do this. I need to go into the armor stand entity. And I need to add my own tick world. And this is something I have never used. Ori and the Blind Forest soundtrack. Distance at which the closest player has to be before the entity despawns. Ignore if never despawn is true. The tick radius is 4. And then I need to add an environment sensor. I'm using tick... Okay, so I put a lot of thought into this, Blue. There is a fail case in here if I don't use tick world. Let's say you have 2 players. The host of the server, both players run for a score of 1,000. They're now out of ticking area of the original tile. The host player has died and is returned to spawn. The non-host player disconnects from the world. You now have nothing. The game will recognize that there are no active players, but what just happened last time with partial cleanup, I think that is a result of this bug that I'm describing, where the game will say, oh, there's nobody over there anymore, I'm going to unload the chunks before it completes processing, which means now you have ghost chunks. I got around it last time, I think, by... I don't even know if I did this. I did. I added a temporary ticking area on tile cleanup, but ticking areas themselves do not load instantly. And I think that may be responsible for some of the issues that that version encounters, because I didn't verify that the ticking area was completely loaded before I started processing and cleaning up. So my solution to this is to put tick world on an armor stand that is always within the player's, basically within 2 or 3 chunks of the player, guaranteed, except for that very edge case. And if you got a better way to do it, let me know. But that's the best I can come up with. If under the scenario I described, the non-host player logs out, then I have nothing to keep the chunks loaded. But I can call the ticking area, but then I have to wait until the ticking area completely loads before I can start processing, and that is super unreliable. Ticking areas can load instantly, or they can take 30 seconds to load. Versus if I always have an entity that ticks the area, and that entity is always basically in the same place as the player, then I know that the chunks have already been loaded, so there shouldn't be that problem. And the ticking entity only has to keep the chunks loaded for like 3 or 4 ticks, and then I kill it anyways. Alright, how do environment sensors work? I got an example of this lying around somewhere. Is it inside? Is this not a list? Is this just like this? And on environment is the list? I should just look it up. I think I used it on trains. Oh yeah, there it is. Nope, I had it right the first time. This is gonna be has tag. Since your track can't see, why don't you just do a forward clean with the path generated? Because the area may be unloaded before that entity can do its processing. This is all about keeping the area loaded long enough for everything to take effect. See you later. Alright, that will probably work. Oh, no, you can, because you might see into an ungenerated, into a previously generated tile. and then watch it overwrite itself. Which is ugly. Plus it creates a whole host of encoding issues. Having data where I don't... my game doesn't think there should be data. I always forget that that's a key. Alright. This music is making this really intense. I wanted to see if... that actually was intentional. I don't. It will sound like the excuse for dying. That was intentional. I wanted to see if the arrows worked when I didn't have immunity on, because I've only ever hit him in creative mode. That's one that I never get. It's really out of the way. Nope. Alright, there's something wrong with my cleanup processing, because this is... Tick World didn't solve it. That's not a problem for tonight. But that is very disappointing that that's having cleanup issues again, because it was not when... Maybe I just need to leave the player there longer. Yeah, let me leave... Let me adjust this. I still think I need this Tick World stuff. but let me leave. I guess I could get rid of it and just have it be an edge case. Like a super edge case. That's just not handled. I want to change when I return the player. And that means I need to give them levitation again. Which puts me back on player died. Puts me on to death scoring. So instead of doing that, anybody with death scoring is going to get is running. Anybody with death scoring is going to remove death scoring. That's going to hold until delete tile main finds that the game has been successfully cleaned up, in which case we're going to teleport, the remaining is running, and remove is running. No pets. I was looking at getting a greyhound, but I have not taken action yet. I got some travel coming up that makes getting a greyhound in the next month not a good idea, not a good fit. And there's a little bit of question about their life events right now that I'm waiting on more information on before I make a decision. I just want to get away from spawn a little bit. Of course, I'm running back towards it right now. That's good. Let's go this way. Nope. This way is okay. It's going to turn me right. I don't want to go right. Left is good. That'll work. That's far enough away. Ooh. Why do you think that was unhappy? Maybe it didn't like me having Is running? I don't know, that would be weird. Don't think it's going to like me coming back into this. Because Is running is not actually getting removed. As strange as that is, that must be looping somewhere else and being assigned. Either that or I didn't reload the function at the right time. I guess I'll try it once more. Nope. Failed to execute tag. So the is running tag, I get teleported. But something in here gets screwed up. It definitely doesn't get set on setup, otherwise I wouldn't have to set it on myself every time. Just to see. Not convinced this is going to do anything. Okay. Sure. Why not? Why not? It doesn't like me having that tag for whatever the balance is. It's got to be somewhere in... It's getting reset in there somewhere. Or it's executing off me. Oh, maybe that's what it's doing. Maybe it was getting stuck in a loop where it tried to generate new armor stands. That could be. That makes sense. Alright, regardless, that works. Now we have a whole battery of armor stands somewhere out here that were summoned and never disposed of. All this stuff on the sidebar. I don't know. Doesn't matter. That'll get cleaned up in MC Edit or something. Something equivalent. Shield time doesn't get reset on death. Yeah, the spikes are entities. Spikes are actually 2 entities. Converting between them. I had a list here of my stuff. I did that. I did that. I did that. I did that. Alright, that was pretty good progress. I got the tutorial room, I got the game start sequence, I got function grouping and texture mappings. And then there are a couple holdover issues. So one is that the death sound is not moving with player. Nope. Nope, this one didn't clean up. Alright, there's something massively screwed up with cleanup. I don't know if there are too many entities. See all of those delete count entities. Let's do... Just gonna reset everybody. Oh, and I need a new player. that's nice and far out. I would take a shield if someone wanted to offer it to me so that I can get the coordinates back up. That's a clock. Another clock. It's me almost stabbing myself. No. No shield. I always just turn them on, but... There's one. Alright, shield. I'm at 205.12. Ooh, okay. That's a problem. All those delete count entities still existing. Yep, that's, I think, part of what's causing this issue. What happens if I transform an entity? Does kill count as fatal damage? I don't think it does. Okay, but I'll leave this. Ghost armor stands. Kill isn't instantly removing, and player is teleporting away. Before kill sequence completes, this may be causing the world cleanup failures. Investigate. Transforming to AECs on fatal damage if kill is detectable. At the very least, this will delete all conflicting scoreboards. I guess the alternative is to reset all scoreboards of affected entities, but then that could still cause problems. And I don't know if that's actually what's going on or not. Did everything get cleaned up out here? It looks like it. Yeah. Okay. Alright. That's as far as I'm going tonight. There's probably 2 more nights of work. The texture mappings is 5 minutes. New player is 5 minutes. Tutorial room is half an hour. Game start sequence is a couple hours probably. Function grouping is an hour. It's probably like 4 hours left. Somewhere between 3 and 4. And then the bugs will be day 2. Alright, have a good one.